When we first discover manifestation, one thing that really makes us get into it is this promise that our lives are going to change for the better permanently. Until, of course, you decide to change the story to manifest something else. At some point, your story is going to last. And no one will get into this mental work because it's not easy. You all know this. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And therefore, no one will do it if the results aren't going to be good and lasting. And I want to talk about that in this video because a lot of people are talking about hot and cold, back and forth in their manifestation, not just with SP, with everything. I hear this from people who are manifesting money, who are manifesting careers. A lot of you are manifesting SPs. Some of you are manifesting health. I know this from your comments and from my clients. And we want the results to be lasting. And really enough of this back and forth and halfway, and also halfway of doing things. And that is exactly what I want to talk about. So this video is going to be focused on persistence and the importance of it, and also how to persist. Because I have also been asked from someone to explain what persistence exactly is. And if you master that, you can manifest anything. So if this video interests you, stay with me. And welcome to my channel. My name is Anna. I'm a manifestation coach. On this channel, I teach the law of assumption as taught by Neville Goddard, and while also keeping it simple and practical so that you can take it and apply it to your own manifestations right away. This is not an SP specific or anything specific channel. Here I am teaching the law so that you can apply it to any of your manifestations. And if you happen to need any additional help with your specific manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. And if you resonate, please subscribe and stay for more. And let's talk about persistence. So, first of all, the importance of persistence is that once you decide what you want to manifest, that story needs to become your new normal. And where people give up a lot of times is when they don't really see results, or the results are back and forth, and you start asking, is this even working? Can I even manifest? Or can this thing be manifested? The doubt has many sides to it, and it's different for everyone. The reason that happens is that your mind, you need to treat your mind as the creative power. Where a lot of people go wrong is when they treat the mind as the ultimate truth. When the opposing story comes up and tells you can't have your desire because of a lot of reasons, a lot of experiences in the past, this and that, a lot of times people take that as facts and give up. Instead, you need to persist, because if you don't, that story won and will continue manifesting. Seeing it from an objective point of view, the way this works, regardless of your story, is that whichever story you have is going to manifest regardless of what it is. Big, small, good, bad, it doesn't matter. Your mind is not going to judge. It just is this creature of habit where whatever story it's habituated to, that's where it's going to go naturally. So unless the new story gets in and replaces it, this old story is just going to persist and manifest continuously. So now it's on autopilot. Once something gets into your subconscious, it's manifesting on autopilot. So the reason and the importance of persisting is so that you replace the story, because it's not going to happen like this when you have an opposing story. Many of you might have, probably you have had a lots of easy manifestations where you think of it, not think of it, but affirm it or imagine it a few times and then it manifests. No effort, no resistance, etc. Please let me know in the comments if you have had those manifestations. They are so much fun. And the reason that happens so easily is that you don't have an opposing story. But when you already have a story, now please don't take this and create a limiting belief that now you have to do a whole lot of work and it's going to take forever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you have an opposing story, you need to persist as many times and as much until this story is replaced, until this story doesn't come up and mess with your mood. And it will look like this. Now, how do you persist? You persist, first of all, by deciding what you actually want instead of this old story. You want this new situation. And you start affirming it as already true. What will happen is that your current story, what you already know about the situation will come up and contradict your new story. And that is exactly where people go, yeah, but that is true. Come on, who am I kidding? I am lying to myself. That's all programming. You need to realize that your mind is doing it, and it's going to do it, and it's normal. It's not about not having the negative story. It's about what to do with it. So it comes up, contradicts your new story. Now it's your job to, when we say persist in the new story, this is how it happens in the practical. You recognize the old story that it's just messing with you. It's just because you're habituated, you're used to it. What you do there is you say no and you start contradicting it with your current story. So no, that's not true. Or you can label it as you want. Whatever works for you. Either that's not true, that's never been true, I have been like this all my life, and you start telling your story. Or you can tell yourself, yeah, I know that. That's my old story. That's not working for me anymore. That's not my story anymore. My new story is, and then you go into your affirmation and your new story. However, you do that, if you do it through affirming or you're doing imaginal acts, it doesn't matter. As long as the work is in your mind, doesn't matter what you do. So choose something you have fun with, actually. Choose something that works for you. So persisting is just that. It's the not giving into your old story and replacing it consciously. This is a conscious, I hate this word for manifestation, but let's use it. Conscious effort from your part, conscious work. Like you put in a work, you put in investing. Let's call it investing. It's Neville Goddard's term, by the way. You invest your thoughts in creating and manifesting this new situation. So you have to do this for as long as it takes for this old story to go away. And here I am also answering the question, how long is it going to take? It's going to be different for everyone, and it's going to be different for all your different manifestations also, and it doesn't matter. It needs to be done until this old story is gone. And what you start noticing, if you persist, is that this old story comes up less and less. And you keep persisting in your new story. At some point, your new story will be replaced by the old story. And it will be your new normal. By doing this, you are changing yourself. You become a new person who is now living with this new truth that you created for yourself. So whatever is in your mind is not an ultimate truth. It's not a universal truth. The only universal truth is that your mind, whatever it accepts as true, is going to manifest. But the stories, are simply a programming, and you can reprogram it like this. So if you don't do this, if you don't persist, what will happen is that whatever is already there in your subconscious as programming, as your belief, like for example, the belief that that person just can't love you because XYZ, you can't make this amount of money because XYZ. Whatever is already in there is going to manifest. Your mind doesn't care that you don't want it. It doesn't care that you feel bad about it. It's an absolute non-judgmental law that we're working with, just like gravity. It's whatever you program it with, it is going to manifest. And it's the same with big manifestations, small manifestations. Some things are bigger and more important for us than others. Yes, seen it from human perspective, of course your SP is more important than that cup of coffee. Of course your health is more important for you than that bag you want, or whatever, like, you know what's important for you. It's just that your mind is not thinking like that, especially the subconscious is absolutely non-judgmental and non-analytical. What it does is whatever is impressed on it is expressed. And as I said in the beginning of the video, when you persist enough to actually change the story, where this new story becomes your new normal, that is where change is permanent. No one wants to have a temporary fix, even though we do that a lot. Everything we do in the 3D, what Neville Goddard calls 3D manipulation, is probably going to give you results, but eventually what is your assumption is going to manifest anyway. So whatever you did there in the 3D to fix something is going to follow apart because your assumptions are going to kick in. Therefore, it's so important that you go to your mind and you work with your assumptions, because once that's in place, it's going to manifest on autopilot. Once you have created this wealth mindset, for example, that's going to be on autopilot. This is not something you need to do forever. Then there are other things that you will manifest. Of course, you will have other limiting beliefs, you will have other stories about your body, your relationships, your whatever might come up later. Manifestation doesn't stop. But once you have created an assumption about a specific topic, that, for example, money just flows into your life just like that, and now it's an assumption, now you actually know that, that's going to be on autopilot for you. And that is what I mean when I say the changes are permanent. Until one day you decide to change that assumption again, or you let something on the outside influence you, which you shouldn't as a conscious manifestor, but it can happen. But then you know how to change it. Until the assumption is changed, it's going to manifest on autopilot for as long as it stays there in your mind. So therefore, persistence is absolutely key, and it's not because you can't manifest just because you haven't seen results. It's because you are doing back and forth in your mind. If you figure out a way for you to not give in to this old story and take it just as that, this is the old programming. Yes, it feels very true. I'm experiencing it. It also feels horrible, and I don't know how my manifestation could ever come to pass. But all I need to do is simply replace it. Replace it with the attitude that this is already true. At some point, my mind will take care of it and manifest it. Don't get into the house. Don't get house, not the house. The how in plural. Don't get into overanalyzing. Don't get into figuring it out. Your mind knows. Your mind knows how to manifest it for you, because that's all it does. It knows everything at once, which we humans don't know, but that part of us, which is the creator God, knows. So just leave it to your higher self, call it whatever you want, your subconscious mind, your infinite intelligence, and your only job is just to persist in the wish fulfilled. Everything else will take care of yourself. Everything else will take care of it for you. And yes, once again, just to recap, that is when changes become permanent or long lasting or lasting for as long as you decide. So that was it for today. I really hope to have encouraged you to persist in your manifestation. You can do it. You can do it because your mind is in your control only. And if you need any additional help, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. And have a beautiful day.